Legends, it is your old buddy Rodders here with a new review on the Hammer House of Horror box set, and yes, I have changed my shirt. Hey guys, welcome along to the show. This is Coins Age Media and the review episodes. I need to think of a way of changing these up a little bit for I need to get the daily vlogs back in the go. And if you're following me, happen to be following me on Instagram, you'll have seen that I have announced that short film content will be making a return to YouTube for a little while anyway, to see how that goes. I'm still kind of weary about putting the short film content onto this platform for one reason or another. It's a long-term thing, not to do with algorithms and the future of the platform, but we'll see what happens. We'll play it by ear and we'll go with that. This episode of the Hammer House of Horror is Guardian of the Abyss. It is the penultimate episode of the series, and if you've seen the last review I did for this box set, I was hoping that this episode would be better than the last one. The last one was not fantastic, and Guardian of the Abyss was a better episode, but kind of predictable. And you know, when I say predictable, a lot of times I am very much on top of the story as we're going along, and it's very rarely I get caught out in something that's going to happen. But this here episode, delighted to say, there's a little bit of a twist at the end of it, which did kind of catch me off guard, but at the same time I was kind of like, you know, that is a genius choice to finish the episode off this way. Basic little synopsis of this one is: a scrying glass puts an antiques exporter in the path of a woman fleeing from devil worshippers and the evil hypnotist who leads them. I'm not going to get into major detail in this one, other than the fact that Rosalind Landor is in here as Alice, and this is the girl that's on the run from the devil worshipping cult, and that's a bit of a callback to, and I'm trying to pull this name out of memory, she did appear in one of the Hammer horror movies way back whenever she was probably 10 or 11 years old, and wouldn't be much older than that, I would think, and she almost ended up as a sacrifice in that film. And I do believe, if memory serves, might be wrong here, so if I am, I do apologise, The Devil Rides Out, I think the name of the movie was. So having her in here in this role is a genius little callback to the actual movies that finished just prior to this series being made. Great little episode. It stars, of course, we've got Rosalind Landor, who also went on to have a small part in an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. A lot of stuff, I guess, here tickles my nerd bone. Roy Lonan is the antique dealer. John Carson is the guy that runs the cult, I do believe. And yes, that's good. It starts off and it shows this cult, and they're trying to bring the Guardian of the Abyss to our realm in human form, and this scrying glass thing is like a mirror, but it's more like a crystal ball, and it's pretty much like the gateway into the abyss, kind of like this demon they're trying to manifest is kind of like the devil's gatekeeper sort of a thing. And countless cults over the years have tried to summon this thing, and the majority of people that do try it end up either dying or going crazy. And there's the only person that can do it is like a chosen one that's born at a certain time, and you know, all to do with astrological signs and crap like that. So this girl is the second one that they try, but the first one they try prior to the intro to this episode, and she looks into the mirror, she sees the demon's face, and she freaks out and goes crazy and starts like headbutting the pillar next to the altar, and yes, she ends up kind of like a quivering mess in her room. So this new girl is selected. She freaks out, she doesn't want to go through with it, and the thing is, the person that's chosen for this has to be a willing sacrifice for it to happen, and the way the cult leader has found a way around this is he's got the power to hypnotize people, so he can find the person that ticks most of the boxes that he needs, and then he hypnotize them into believing that they want to do this. And yes, she knows this, so she runs, meets this antique dealer, and pretty much the rest of the episode is him trying to keep her safe and the cult trying to get her back. And close to the end, they do manage to get her, and he goes on a rescue mission to try and retrieve her from this giant mansion where the cult are holding their ceremonies. And this is where the little twist in the ending happened, and it was just expertly done in the way they did this little twist, and hats off to them for this episode. It was really good, fantastic. Compared to the last one, this was miles ahead of it, and definitely I wouldn't skip over any of the episodes in the series if you're interested in this sort of stuff and getting into getting into watching horror movies. This is definitely a good entry for you, especially if you're not, like me. I'm not a massive horror fan. I do like the older stuff, the stuff that earns its scares instead of being just flat out, gore and stuff. I don't find those, they're like the Saw movies and that sort of thing. It just don't appeal to me at all. It's like these old school horrors that really freak the life out of you by basic storytelling are by far the best in my books, and this again is a great entry to the genre if you're interested in it. And if you are like myself and the sort of independent films and trying to make your own short films and videos, and you want to try and learn some ways of scaring people without having to spend a boatload of money to put something on screen, this is a great way for you to work out how to do that through basic storytelling and camera work and acting. It is a wonderful little series, and the next video finishes it off for the review series. Kind of gutted really that this only got the one season, and having watched this episode in particular, I can kind of see why it didn't get a second series. This ATV produced this one, so it was like a UK company, and this sort of thing, especially back in 79 and 80, probably wouldn't have went down well on television. And if this had have been produced now these days, I think I could safely say it would probably have earned a second season, but unfortunately it didn't. So we're going to get into the last episode, and I'll get a review up of that very soon.